Greetings all. I'm Commander Kimball K, but please just think of me as Kim. Welcome aboard Greenback as we continue to follow RaXXLa. Thanks for tagging along. For any who have not seen the previous following RaXXLa presentations, they are the knowledge base for this presentation, so they're highly recommended. The foundational assumptions, evolving theory, collected observations, strange HUD interactions, discoveries, and other speculation about what we've found are mapped and explained ad infinitum in those previous presentations. So we'll not go for yet another detailed rehash here, except to summarize what we've learned so far as we head out to follow the next part of this story. For the purposes of this presentation, the large and small Magellanic Clouds will be called the mother and child respectively. So far, we've learned that the word RaXXLa, when aligned and combined with the dark wheel toast, describes an effective route directive from Ra to 6 Lambda Leporis, a permit locked star within the Call 70 bubble. The necessary clues to figure that out are contained in the Codex, and in this case aided by a couple of timely epiphanies, namely that the large Magellanic Cloud is the mother of galaxies, and that the word RaXXLa might be some kind of a route list. After some reasoning and travel, those turned out to be correct. Then we realized that there may be another route formatted like the RaXXLa route, but to a different destination. We postulated that the pair of 2 directives of the dark wheel toast might apply similarly on this new route as they did for the RaXXLa route. We went there. That new route led from Ra to Rigel. So, following the same naming format we deduced from the RaXXLa route, the route name from Ra to Rigel became RaXXRa. The insight behind that realization of another route was the amazing swirling stars HUD anomaly that we observed on March the 4th, 3308. That brings us up to present, as we're heading out to a possible third RaX destination, the insight this time being deduced from what we've seen and learned previously by following RaXXLa. Now for the explanation of that. Seen from Ra, here's the RaXXLa jewel described in the Codex, Theta Doradus, leading to 6 Lambda Leporis. Here's the new jewel given by the swirling stars that led to Rigel, completing the RaXXRa route. Realizing that the swirling stars of the HUD anomaly were swirling about an axis and had rotated by about 120 degrees clockwise, as if they were 2 detents on a 3-position rotary switch, swirling those same stars counterclockwise by the same amount might place the mother's head behind a third jewel. As can be seen, the graphical geometry works out pretty well to support that suggestion. So let's go there. What we're seeing here is Greenback's visual jump log from the actual journey. The target star remains at center screen. And there's our third jewel prospect, New Hydri. Here we are at New Hydri. Let's see if the second go-to directive of the dark wheel toasts makes sense from this location. It will if New Hydri is a jewel. By now, we've learned to look for that bright comma star between the Whisperer, the Witchhead Nebula, and the Siren, Barnard's Loop, and there the three of them are. That bright star between the two nebulae is our new target star. Let's go! For the last half dozen jumps or so, the target star and another equally bright star, as you can see, became so closely aligned that it was difficult to tell for sure which was the target star. The other bright star causing the confusion turned out to be Rigel, the already known RaXXLa destination. There's our target star system at last, friends. Kappa Leporis, the RaX destination from the New Hydri jewel. By applying the same naming convention as with the other two RaX routes, this third route would be called RaXXKa, the first two letters of the destination being the last two of the route name. Kappa Leporis is located just outside the Col 70 bubble, in close proximity to 6 Lambda Leporis, Rigel, and Shinvi. So now we have identified 3 specifically defined routes from Ra to a small region of the Col 70 bubble. This has to be just the start of the story, since despite all we've found, there's still nothing solved here yet. However, we have learned how to decipher the RaXX family of routes using the RaXX skeleton along with the flesh of the dark wheel toast directives. It seems that we're grasping a small part of a much larger thing. What that larger thing is what I think we're actually trying to figure out. Brings to mind the ancient adage of a group of blind men describing an elephant by feeling it. There's another thing about these RaX routes that is interesting. They are not bidirectional. One could not start at Rigel and travel to Ra by following the RaXXLa route backward. Another question that comes to mind is, why Ra? Could there be other starting points? What if we did want to define a route from, say, Rigel to Ra using the same format and technique? My guess would be that the skeleton would be RaXXLa. That's not so hard and seems reversible, but a new pair of toast-like go-to directives would be needed. The ones in the dark wheel toast would not work bilaterally. Wow. Those remote directives would have to change when the starting point is changed. For this method of defining routes, it seems that the only things not variable are the pair of X's that are just placeholders for other variable go-to directives stored sort of off to the side, as are the pair in the dark wheel toast. The size of this story seems to grow with every effort. So far we've had some success. We now have a lot to think about and plenty yet to try based on what we've found and seen so far. Friends, please share your own thoughts about this topic in the comments below. I expect we'll be heading out again pretty soon, so until then, 07 Commanders.